Good morning, YouTube Reseller Mom and Tina here with you today to talk about online arbitrage versus retail arbitrage, the pros and the cons of both, and do you like both? Do you do both? Why and why not? This is a common debate, and some people say I'm afraid of online arbitrage or I hate running around to the stores. So, how about you, Lucy? What is your preference?
Well, first we got a couple things to go over. Just a few news stories. I want to do those first, because this is going to take a long talk.
Yeah. Good morning, Armand.
Good morning.
First one today. Winner, chicken dinner.
So first up, I wanted to say that Amazon sent out this email. I haven't really dived into it. Something about brand registry and that you can now, what did it say? It said educational hub. And I don't know. I've watched a lot of their Amazon videos and I don't find a whole lot of good content there. It's a lot of fluff, but maybe I'll check it out and see. I am brand registered, so kind of goes in. If you needed to know more about transparency or reporting a violation, this one I'll probably go look at some more because I'd like to report some people. Then I wanted to bring up the drones. The drones to drones. Yay, thank you, Millennial Money Mom. We wanted to do something spooky today. So Amazon's going to start droning prescriptions in Texas. And I thought that was kind of cool. I'm going to link this article down in the chat here. Essentially, what I took away is they're testing it out in a small area. They're going to drop it from about 13 feet in a padded envelope. And, you'll have to cut and paste twice. Sorry. It split it into two pasties there. And these drones can fly 400 feet in the air, which seems like a lot. And then Tina was saying that just what we need is drugs flying through the air so people can shoot them down. Nothing can go wrong with this scenario, right?
Yes, that's what I told Lucy. When people know that these are dropping off your prescriptions, I'm like, I just see trouble. And them dropping them 13 feet to where? Is it going to misland on the sidewalk in your front yard? And what level of prescriptions? I mean, I don't know that this is going to go over well, but that's just my opinion.
I am intrigued by the idea, but I agree. Like, where is it going to drop? Because maybe you don't want your children to have that prescription or the kids outside. And I could just see people following these drones around or they see one coming in and it's like, oh, I see it go drop at my neighbor's 2 houses down. I'm going to go and take their package off the porch. So
good morning, Nate and Reno. I see you all here this morning. Good morning.
Then this one was more fascinating to me. There's a pizza place that's going to offer drone delivery in Seattle next year. And that could go wrong too. I could see some people taking off with your pizza. And how's that going to happen? I don't want my pizza dropped.
And do they hover until you take it? Because if they drop it to the ground, is my pizza going to fly out of the box? Is all the cheese and hot pepperoni going to be stuck to the lid? I mean, I have questions.
There's a lot of questions. So, yeah, only the 13-inch pizzas and side delivery. They'll be able to carry 2 pizzas and side dishes. I don't know. There's pictures or whatever. What do you call it? Video. So maybe I'll watch the videos. Yeah. Well, and I don't know if people know this, but Seattle's kind of known for having some marijuana here, so pizza delivery should go over very well with some of the crowds. Anyhow, all right, that was about it in the Amazon world. Was there any other news that happened this week that was kind of concerning us? I can't think of any.
No, you were talking to me this morning about the brand registry.
Yeah.
And that was about it.
All right. Well, and that was, yeah. Oh, there was one I posted on the Facebook, but if you go into your app, you can now be notified of customers wanting to cancel their order for merchant fulfilled. So that kind of goes into our topic today. You're going to want to go and turn on that setting
especially for
because
Q4.
for Q4. So online arbitrage versus retail arbitrage. I don't know. I have a lot of pros and cons lined up in my head on which one's better and why, and which one's worse and why. But I kind of like both for different reasons. Online arbitrage is awesome because you can sit, you can click an order at all hours of the night and then it just gets delivered to you, and that part is amazing. You can do the top cash back, you can do the Rakuten, you can get it ordered. If you are working with a third party center, that adds in a little bit more complexity when you're doing online arbitrage, but it's still manageable from a computer. So if you're looking and you're like, I can't go out for whatever reason, whether that's schedule based or maybe you have small children or you are taking care of somebody and you just physically can't go out and or don't want to go out and see the people in the world. Online arbitrage has a lot of pros to it. The cons is there's a lot of people that do online arbitrage. And so a lot of the deals, just like at the store when Walmart clearance goes on, people are going to be snatching up those deals all across the United States. And you have a lot of price tanking, a lot of competition. And then there's a lot that comes in broken or damaged. I get damaged out stuff all the time. I get sent the wrong stuff, expired stuff, broken stuff, boxes that are leaking. I have a spot in my floor in the office at home that's like this big, and it's from maple syrup that leaked all over. And I just can't really get it out of my carpet anymore. And I don't care about the carpet really dry, but I've had glass. I've had glass shards that we've had to clean up and things like that. Retail arbitrage, I love the local deals. So if you have some local stores, I love the Grocery Outlet. I love my Fred Meyer's. You can capitalize on different coupon stackings or deal stackings, get gas rewards, things like that. You instantly have the item, so you don't have to wait a week to get your item. You can list it and literally list it, and in Q4 list it FBM and sell it within minutes or hours of having the item in hand. The cons are the people the people out there not ringing up correctly, not getting any help. Trucking around in the rain is sometimes not super fun. I've had to do some puddle jumping so that I don't get my product wet. I've had to kind of shield my cart from downpours. Snow and ice can be a thing. The wear and tear on your car, the wear and tear on your physical back, like hauling things in and out, is also something to consider. And then checking out. Sometimes I will do the self-checkout because I know the system and I know how to do it quicker than going to a person. And then if I am going to a person checkout, sometimes they ask questions and you have to interact, and or there's screaming children or crazy adults. I have been witness to several people trying to steal stuff out of the stores and general shenanigans, bums on the street, being hit up for money. I mean, the general things when you're out and about. So that's my take on it. Sometimes I'm in the mood for RA. Sometimes I'm in the mood to have a cup of coffee and just sit at the computer. What about you, Tina?
I like them both for different reasons. I lean more on the side of online arbitrage. I will say, as a newer seller, I only did retail arbitrage. I didn't really get online arbitrage or how to do it, or I knew people did it. I knew about TA, and I tried TA. When I was a newer seller, I just was more comfortable going to a store because I could pick up an item, I could look at it, I could see if I thought it looked cheap or good. And online, you couldn't tell that. I could scan it right there in the store. But as my sale and shopping skills progressed, I then, was still only doing retail arbitrage, but I learned to type into either Amazon or type into my Amazon seller app the name of an item, because a lot of times when you scan the barcode, all of these other listings that were for that same item or bundles of that item were not coming up because they weren't tied to that barcode. And that's because now I was getting more advanced shopping skills in the stores. I also got to know where to go in the stores, right? Like there, like when you talked about the clearance sections, sometimes there are, little hidden clearance areas that aren't on the main clearance row, and you just got to know your stores. And some of the stores I would go into weekly, so I knew when a price was marked down, like, oh wow, this is a really good price, because I was always in the stores, right? I knew which Walmarts were the best Walmarts that always had the hot toys in stock. So that was the advantage of being in the store all the time during those years when that's all I was doing. When I pivoted to doing more online arbitrage was during COVID, because
Yeah.
I had to. And and so I had to learn how to do online arbitrage because of COVID, and now learning that skill. I prefer online arbitrage because I feel it's a time saver doing it online, because there is drive time in between stores, right?
Mhm.
Um, and I can use so many tools. I have all the cashback Chrome extensions in on the computer. I like the ease of using Keepa. I like the ease of being able to just have an Amazon tab open to try to find those additional listings without just going like this through my phone, or trying to look at the Keepa chart through my phone. It was much easier to analyze the data on a computer. The disadvantages of it is that I had to wait for it to be shipped to me. Or you have to do that online order in store pickup, and maybe they didn't have it all in stock, right? So then you were shorted things. So the advantages with that for me now is that in store I can get it and have it right now this second and bring it home and send it out today, or list it today. Online arbitrage, now there's a gap, there's a waiting period. So at this time of year in Q4, I do them both. I probably do a little bit more retail arbitrage because I want the thing right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree with that. And there, I mean, there's just it. My take on it is, if you are new to this game, there is a lot of learning you need to do. And it's going to be a little slightly different learning, whether you're doing private label, wholesale, online arbitrage, retail arbitrage, and then between the categories. The books are going to be slightly different than the beauty, slightly different than the grocery. And what I'm talking about is, when I'm working with private label sellers, they need to do a ton of research beforehand on what's trending, what's going on, because they are looking at least a month lead time from manufacturing after they figured out what product they want. And there's a lot of research to go into who to buy, what to buy, when to buy, all of that going into it. So there's a lot of research on that end. And then once they get the product in, you have to do an enormous amount of campaigning and managing the SEO of your product to get it out there, because it's a new listing. When you're doing wholesale, there's a lot of learning on what vendors to work with, what do the vendors require, and then researching the products, because now you're buying at least a case of whatever you want to sell. You can't just test it out with one or two. You need to test it out with 24, 48. So if you make an oopsie daisy, you can't really return to a wholesaler. And then with retail arbitrage, you've got to learn the stores. You got to learn the layout of the stores, when to go, when to shop, how to stack the savings if you have that option, and then how to work the phone to scan things, how to do keyword searches, how the internet's going to work, because I've had places where my internet does not work very well, and what are your options for backup things, and then how to just go through the checkout. And some places will take reseller certificates, some places will not. Then with online arbitrage, you're competing against programs like SourceMongrel or TA. So you've got to get really good at navigating the internet and be good at searching things. And I've worked with some people who are amazing at searching things. They can, like FBI, get in there and find things. And then some people that are just not as savvy with internet and keys and opening windows and navigating the computer as somebody who maybe grew up using a computer their whole life. So there's a lot of work into each of it, and I don't ever suggest doing them all at one time. Do one, get good at it. Do one store, get good at it. Learn one store. If you're going into Q4, what would be your top 5 stores to go and master this Q4?
Me?
Yeah. If you were going to say, I'm new to retail arbitrage, what store should I go to, Tina?
Well, this is safe and unsafe, right? So I like during Q4, the stores like the TJ Maxx and the Marshalls, right? Because a lot of times you get the cheaper deals or maybe last year's toy, so it can be higher profit. The downside to it is those receipts are not valid receipts should somebody say I got a fake. Millennial Money Mom, I have to post this, Lucy, because every time you say it, I think the same thing. It's like
I thought it was mongrel for a long time, but it's
Source Mogul. Yeah, I crack up every time you.
Is it mogul?
And so I always laugh when you say it too.
What the heck's a mogul? Like, I know what a mongrel is, but I don't know what a mogul is. Okay, whatever.
It's cute. It's
whatever,
cute.
Tina.
It's cute. And Nate, yes. So you say Ross, yeah, like these kind of stores I think are a great place to start. But the disadvantage is, what if somebody says, hey, this Nike shirt is a knockoff? All you now have is a Ross receipt that doesn't indicate what you really bought. It might just say shirt or men's, and it's not even the UPC on the receipt that is attached to the item. I know one method had been taking a picture of the shirt with the tag on it that showed that it was from Ross, with your receipt. But that I don't know necessarily always really works. So that is the disadvantage of going to those kind of stores. I feel like if you're a newer seller, you might want a healthier, more longevity of an account before you take those kind of risks. That's just my thought on that. If you want more valid sources, then definitely Walmart and Target are great places to shop through Q4, especially when you're looking for the hot toy items that you're wanting to quickly merchant fulfill and do those fast flips, the beauty section. And of course, you have to be engaged in those categories, clearly.
I would say my top stores are going to be Walgreens, Big Lots, Rite Aid, and my local grocery stores. Those are where I'm probably going to hit up the most. We have a ton of Mexican stores. I actually have a Ukrainian store that is one of my newfound loves. And I don't know for sourcing, though. I just know for purchasing, I like it. And then we have Wajamaya's, which is a Asian Japanese store here. Those stores, I find all sorts of weird one-offs, and grocery outlet. And the reason I like those is because you find products that not everybody is going to be sourcing. At Wajamaya's, there is Squid Game. They have some Squid Game stuff. So, I'm scanning that. They have.
Is Squid Game popular still?
I don't know. It's sold. I bought 3 to test, and they all sold really quick. Wait a minute. What's your coffee mug?
It's my Halloween mug. It's a skull. It's a skull.
That's cute. I love it.
I drink out of themed mugs during the holidays. I have Christmas ones because I'm that person.
Yeah, Millennial Money Mom said that Rite Aid will be closing. The Rite Aid next to my Wajimaya, I just got notified that will be closing.
We haven't had Rite Aid in my city for years. We used to have
CVS, right? Yeah. CVS
CVS
files. CVS you shop at.
Yes, CVS we have, and Walgreens.
Yeah. And Walgreens, you have to kind of hit those deals with the candy. There's some particular candies that come out and Squishmallows that come out, and that's what I'm popping into Walgreens.
Yeah, I like Walgreens, especially they do a couple of times a year really big toy clearances that can be great. And they'll have toys in Walgreens that are great at Q4. And One thing I love, love, love about Walgreens, and this is, of course, the online shopping, but you can do in-store pickup. Walgreens is terrible at the way they ship you orders. I've
Yeah.
had more Walgreens orders come crushed and damaged. They're terrible, terrible shipping. But you can do online order in-store pickup. And Walgreens online has so many clippable coupons right on the page. They make it very user friendly. So maybe they're having a vitamin sale, which is common. Am I putting you to sleep again this week?
Oh man, no. We watched the last John Wick last night, which I was really, I don't know. I kind of liked the ending, kind of didn't like the ending. I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but I was definitely up too late. And I brought this is a bottle that holds a whole bottle of wine, but I filled it with coffee today. So it has two purposes now in life.
So Walgreens might have a buy one, get one half off, or buy one, get one free, let's say on vitamins. And right on that particular vitamin that you're looking at, if there's a coupon for it, Walgreens lets you know it. Clippable coupon for $2 off of two. I'm sorry, Lucy. I hope I'm not boring all of you in YouTube.
No,
And then they may have also Walgreens cash back, like $7 cash back if you spend $20 on vitamins. And that Walgreens cash back is great and it builds up. And I usually like to let mine build up. And maybe now you're going to go in there at Christmas and they have some candy that's buy one, get one free, buy one, get one half off, some really great candy deal. And now you've got 30, 40 bucks of Walgreens cash. And you can just go in there and grab this candy, not only profitable if you were to have paid for it, but now buy all of it with Walgreens cash. And so I love that about Walgreens. And you will have a valid receipt for Amazon because Walgreens will clearly display what the item is.
yes, I did similar with Kohl's. I did a big order from Kohl's the other day, and I got $100 Kohl's cash. And stop it, you're disrupting my thoughts, Tina.
That's what you were doing to me. And I just want to let you know you're boring me back.
So anyhow, I had $100 Kohl's cash. I wound up using it for more inventory though. Sometimes I'll buy Christmas presents, but I couldn't think of anything I wanted.
Kohl's is such a scam though with that, isn't it? Because
Oh yeah,
we were talking about that because you had, I think it was like $100 Kohl's cash back, and I had bought some stuff on there and I had 40 bucks. But what I'll do is the thing that I'm looking for, or maybe even the thing that I bought, once the Kohl deal is over with, when it was you get the $10 cash back for every 50 that you spend, I'll go back now. Now, when you can use the Kohl's cash, sometimes that item is now cheaper than it was when they were running the spend 50, get 10, right? And so I'm like, you suckers, I didn't save nothing.
This time it was more expensive, so it was good that I bought it when I bought it because it went up in.
I can't tell what this emoji is. Oh, it's a bagel. Here's a bagel. He's giving you a bagel with your coffee.
Well, that's better than some other emojis. Thank you, Nate. I hate that Kohl's cash is use it or lose it.
So true. And I lost last year, actually. Last year I lost $75 of Kohl's cash because I forgot. I absolutely forgot. 75 bucks. That really ticked me off. If it was $10, I would have been like, oh well, but 75 bucks.
Because if nothing else, I get some like fuzzy blankets or some candles for the house, you know.
Anything, right? I would have got anything. You could go in there and get some makeup for yourself. Yeah. I was mad at myself for that one.
Yeah. And Kohl's has all sorts of, I don't know. Kohl's that's what we talk about, the education. We could have a whole course just on shopping Kohl's and then even by the different things, because how I do the bras in Kohl's is slightly different than how I do toys in Kohl's, and it's slightly different than what I look for in clothes. So, you know, there's a lot of good little spots within Kohl's. We've done well with sandals. We've done well with Carters. We've done well with hoodies, jeans, back to school clothes. I mean, it's all over the place on what can be good in there. But if you're a novice, it took me years to learn Kohl's. And I went in once or twice and I was like, I don't know what people are doing. I can't find anything that sells good in here. And then once I started, I was like, I'm going to learn this. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to learn this. Watched a bunch of videos, went in. And I was like, oh, I have been looking at this completely wrong for the last couple of years and missing out on opportunities.
And see, I have a Kohl's store card. And so then I like when they run that extra 30% off. So I like to go in there and look at the clearance racks personally when I go, in conjunction with when Kohl's is offering Kohl's card holders an additional 30% off, because now I get that clearance price 30% off of that. Now, if you can really land it well, then you get the sale, the clearance, you're 30% off plus Kohl's cash back. And that's when you leave that store and you feel like you just robbed them.
Yeah. I'll talk about one just because Millennial Money Mom brought it up. She says she needs a course on, because she doesn't have the patience to look through bras or clothes. That could be it. I mean, so with bras, you got to get good at knowing which brands to scan and which brands to skip over. Vera Wang, never going to find one that's profitable. It's just not good. Bali, I believe Amazon has taken over all of the Bali listings and now has all the Balis listed at 15, 17 bucks when they used to go for 35. So I don't know if that's going to be the case or not this year, but learn which brands to scan because you'll skip over all the rest, which is like 90% of the store, 70% of the store. And then I go to the one, it's on Black Friday, I want to say, where they have a huge bra sale. It's somewhere in that Thanksgiving weekend. They have a particular bra sale at Kohl's, and then toys are on sale as well. So I try to hit that up. That's one of my Black Friday ones that I like to go to. But last year I went and I didn't hardly find anything. Yeah, Warner's one that I love. Warner, Hanes, Vanity Fair.
I will say the last 2 years in a row, I struggled more with retail arbitrage than I have in history ever of selling on Amazon. I thought, and I don't know if this is anyone else's experience, if it was yours or not, but the last 2 years of going out and hitting the stores, my usual stores that I've always struck gold, I didn't the last couple of years. I used to leave with a car full from one store. Last year, it took me like 6 stores collectively to get almost a car full of stuff that was profitable. And I thought for sure the stores would have been a wealth of stuff because of still the aftermath of COVID. Remember all the things that were stuck in the shipping containers and the stores getting things late, and that wasn't the case. I will say this year, I already have done a little retail arbitrage. Last year at this time in October, I wasn't really finding much good stuff that I could sell for Q4, like during Christmas coming up, be it toys and whatever. And we went out the other day and I was like, oh my gosh, this feels like the old days. No, I didn't leave with a carload from one store. Don't get me wrong. But every store that I went into, we left with merchandise. I spent at least $100 or more at the stores that I went to. I'm like, this feels good. Like this is what I remember. So I have hope this year. I have hope that we are going to, that as Amazon peep, that our retail arbitrage is going to start doing this again. It gave me hope when I went into the stores the other day. I know I had called you afterward. I'm like, oh my gosh, it feels like how it used to be, because last year I was in the store and it was almost Thanksgiving. And I'm like, when are they going to have the toys that are out that are like the toy? Because let's say it was Ross and I would go to 1 or 2 Rosses and scan like all the things, all the sections. And then I knew what was hot, what I was getting. Then it made every other Ross store after that easy because I went in there. I knew what I was looking for. I didn't have to scan it. Do they have this? Okay, good. Let's get all that we can because I already knew what I was looking for. So if you take your time in any store, whether it's Ross, Walmart, it doesn't matter to me, and you find your thing, then it does speed up the process as you hit the other locations of that same store. But last year and the year before, I did not have that rhythm. Every store was a struggle.
So I'm trying to think. I don't even remember last year. It was a blur.
That was a year ago. I don't remember. So Nate says same here. Yeah, it just wasn't the same. what got me through last year, honestly, is all of my own private label items and things that I began implementing into my Amazon business, because I'm always having to pivot and go with the changes of Amazon. Because Amazon, as you all know, if you've been doing it, even if you've been doing Amazon for more than a year, you've already noticed that Amazon changes things and becomes stricter or moves buttons, or what was easier isn't as easy, and it's always evolving.
That's what I'll bring this up because we did it yesterday. I did a live listing from start to finish in the bundles group. So if you are in our bundles group, you can go watch that. I did a short version afterwards, but the long version's like an hour and 20 minutes of going through and kind of going over particularly the suspected IP complaints, the different buttons, some things that we have to do and we don't have to do. And then we are working on, I got to put one together for a flat file. So that is something that I'll probably do after this video, and do a mock-up of a flat file just to go through that with everybody that is struggling with that. We've had to do more flat files, more issues. I did have a good case that I wanted to share on here that was for a toy compliance. I had an item shut down because of toy compliance paperwork, and I did the option. There's like either submit paperwork or appeal this. And I appealed it and I said, this item doesn't need that paperwork. It was flashcards, and it wasn't a stuffed animal or anything. So I'm like, it's flashcards. It does not need toy compliance paperwork. And it took 2 to 3 days, but then they approved it and they were like, yes, we agree. This doesn't need it. And the listing went back live and active. So that was really interesting to see. And I know Squishmallows is ones that we sell on and off. And a lot of people, they'll see these videos of, I made $8 gajillion off of Squishmallows. And then they go and they try to mimic that without doing the research. And the research behind the Squishmallows, particularly just Squishmallows, is a lot of listings are done incorrectly, as Chuck pointed out, between the 10-inch and the 12-inch and the 8-inch and the 10-inch. And then they are making the listings and it will automatically get flagged for that compliance paperwork, and you get about 30 days. So these people are making the listings, selling out within 30 days. So if you catch it on day 25, it's going down within.
Yeah, toy compliance is a real big one. That has stopped me from selling quite a few toys that we normally would be able to, because we cannot get these toy compliance paperworks, and that's a real tough one. And Amazon, how they have really increased in the last 12 months, shutting down your listings for the suspected IP complaints. And it's like, this isn't even coming from the companies or other sellers or the brands. It's coming directly from Amazon. And it's like, Amazon, stay out of it. Like, if these companies aren't complaining, mind your business. Yeah, because, Amazon is losing money too for all of these listings that we were creating, or bundles that we were creating. And I get it, because they don't want brands coming after them and suing them because we're making Disney themed bundles of, Disney products. It just stinks, because that is something I have done for years and years and years, is make branded toy type of bundles. And it just makes me want to cry, because so many of these words we can't use. And now with all of the AI bots and the algorithms, they're picking up on just imagery. So you might not even have Mickey Mouse in the title, but your bundle that shows the Mickey Mouse, let's say plush in a box, and the box says Mickey Mouse or Disney on it, the AI algorithm is picking up even off of the photos. And it has really made me focus a lot more on my private label brandings of my private label items. I'm grateful that I know how to do that and have done these types of listings and products, because adding that into the mix has kept me going.
We went over that too yesterday on how to obscure if it's picking up on the packaging, and how to look at you got to look at your violation, see if it is from the photo, and then you can go and update the photo to get rid of whatever it's flagging there. But yeah, let's talk about AI for a minute. ChatGPT came out last November, so it's been around for almost a year now.
We're
In
real
that,
good friends, me and old Chat GPT. I love it. I
yes, so I
love
love ChatGPT. Amazon incorporated AI product description and AI bullet points in the last, what was it, like in June, July?
Mm-hmm.
And it is garbage.
It
Tried to use
is.
that yesterday. It's nice that they're trying, but it was garbage. So we went over to ChatGPT and did our stuff. And that is what they are incorporating to look at these photos and start doing more analysis. Now there is a huge there's going to be court cases coming. The schools are already having a fit because they cannot tell if people have plagiarized or not, because you can take somebody else's essay, say ChatGPT, rewrite this essay for me, and it does a really good job. And so the schools are now trying to see how can they make it so that either the children, they're testing the children in a different way so that they can't use a chat GPT, or just kind of trying to outlaw computers in general, which I don't think works really. And then artists, my husband works for a game development company, and he's saying that there's artists that are banding together to say that you cannot use our content without royalties and whatnot. And we'll see how that falls out. That's going to be
I would like
interesting.
to know how many of you watching use Chat GPT to help you create Amazon listings if you are someone who creates Amazon listings. I realize not everybody does. I would really love to know how many of you are incorporating it, because I have been playing around with it for a year now, and I have learned some really great tricks that I have been using with ChatGPT to work and rework some listings, either current ones that I'm making, or try to refresh old listings that just need a little bit of help because sales have slowed down or sales weren't really that great. Um, and so I'm just curious how many of you use it. Reno says he does.
And you can use it for other things too. My husband uses
Oh,
it to write emails.
oh, of course. Um, okay, so this is, since I had a couple of you at least answer me, this is some of the latest tricks that I've been using with ChatGPT. And when I say the latest tricks, I mean within the last month that I'm just like, why had I not thought of doing this? So when I'm needing help with a listing, I give it as much information as I feel it needs in order to create the bullet points or description or help me with the title. I've always asked it things like, please use, SEO rich keywords in my title, or please include these particular keywords because, I've done my own research on keywords. But I will put it all in, the item is this, it's this color, it is this dimension, it is, all the things that you're asking it. Then I tell ChatGPT, before you create the bullet points for this listing, please ask me any questions that I haven't answered that you need in order to do the job. Wait a minute.
Hold on.
ChatGPT will come back, so it'll spit back and ask me, who is your audience? Or, it will ask me the questions it would like to know. And then I answer the ones I feel are relevant and say, please do the bullet points. Now, I've gotten so good at now giving ChatGPT what it wants that the last several listings I've done, when I've asked it that question, it has said, I have everything I need. I'm like, okay, because I've got it figured out what ChatGPT wants to know. Well, then my other favorite thing to do that I've done over the last year, but now I've been using it with more frequency. And you made me think about that when you mentioned the kids doing the schoolwork, is I will tell ChatGPT, can you please rewrite these bullet points with a more masculine tone or a more funny tone, or gear this more towards women, change the tone because the audience is a female base. But also what I've been doing is I've asked ChatGPT to please write this at the level of a sixth grader. So that's what you made me.
Yep, because that's what most people are at.
Yeah, because for the ease of reading, most people like that sweet spot for the general public is a fifth to sixth grade reading level. And
Yeah.
it's not to say that we're all stupid. It's just
Just
the
most of you.
simplicity and the ease of it. And so you can ask it, to dumb it down, if you will. And I've gotten some great responses with that. I should, Reno. I know there's a lot of videos I should do. I am so busy with coaching students and all the other things that I'm involved in. I don't take enough time to make more videos.
No, but what we could do is we could put the prompts on our bundle. We have
Yeah.
if you joined our bundle course, we have all the videos, all the links, and we have tabs. So maybe we should make a tab for GPT prompts so that,
Oh
because I'd
yeah,
like to know the
I
one you
use
said.
Chat GPT. Yeah, I use it so well anymore.
But no, we need to put that prompt in there for me so that I have your
So
prompts.
that you have it. And
Yes.
an
You
old
do it
trick
for me.
I learned, and this was last year, is when we were at ASD, um, one of our friends that we met up with, and when I say friends, I mean those of you in our community here that we will do meetups with, sat in on what's his name, CJ Rosenbaum, the
Oh
Amazon,
yeah,
is
yeah, yeah.
that his name? His group, his company did a topic on using Chat GPT and telling it, you're acting as like, you're acting as a trademark attorney, or, in this instance, I want you to act as. And so it will always spit back to you that they're not that they can't, advise as an attorney. And, I realize that, but I want you to write in the tone of this,
Yeah, right in the
profession.
tone.
And so
Right in the tone of an angry woman.
yeah. And so I will use it to better orchestrate an appeal letter with Amazon, or when I am trying to fight or win a case with Amazon, be it on an IP complaint or anything where you're going back and forth with the Amazon reps. And then I also tell it, to take that tone and then dumb it down, if you will, right? Because we don't want too big of words, or when you were talking about legal words going over to an Amazon rep who's in India, because English is not their first language, and I don't want the vocabulary to be too advanced, right? So when I'm not trying to imply that they're dumb, I'm just saying that, some of our big words in English, when it's not your first language, is going to be harder to understand what I'm asking. So I like to use Chat GPT in this manner as well.
As we've all learned today, Tina thinks everybody here is dumb. So
It's not true.
all right, I want to play for a minute because you got me excited. I put in here, what are the top selling chocolate gifts for Christmas? Now, we talked earlier and I found this interesting. You said it only pulls from data 5+
I
years
want to
out.
say it goes back 5 years. I could do a quick Google search of how far back ChatGPT's data is. However, if you upgrade to the, I think it's GPT-4, I did upgrade to it for a month, just to be able to use the plugins and the features it had, just to try it out. It does give you the current data. But the free version that all of us use is honestly good enough. But you couldn't ask it about a current event. You couldn't ask it about the Palestinian and, you know, with the war with the Palestinians and the Jewish people in Israel. It's not, it doesn't have current events. You have to do the paid version, which is only $20 a month. It's not outrageous. If you use it all the time, I think it would be worth the $20 a month. It has some really fun plugins, but I honestly find the free version perfectly fine for my needs.
Okay. Yeah, last to my knowledge, update in September 2021. So it is 5 years out.
Okay, that's
I
what I
asked
thought.
about that. Okay. What are the top selling toys?
And of course, it's not going to know for 2023 because it doesn't, it's not, this free version is not current.
Okay. All right.
And while some of these would still be true today with the action figures, the dolls, this is true answers, but it's not going to tell you, let's say, Barbie, for instance, because it doesn't know about the Barbie movie. So you have to use ChatGPT in a way that helps you now.
Yeah. I liked that it gave me it's great for idea sourcing because we've
It
got
is.
for chocolates, they had basket truffles, advent calendars, gift sets, strawberries, subscription boxes, tins, tubs, ornaments is one that I wouldn't have thought of. And then chocolate covered items, personalized chocolates, and then it gives you the premium brands it considers premiums, and then nuts and dried fruit. So if I were going to maybe make a private label item, maybe I'd want to hone in on chocolate ornaments. So lots of it's interesting. I use it when I'm doing things. I will say, what are the top SEO words for Barbie? What's the top SEO words for Christmas 2023? And then cherry pick those to put in for my back end keywords.
Ooh, actually, let me tell you, let me help you with this one too. So this is another prompt I use with ChatGPT. So when I have had it make a listing, it already has all the data for the listing, the bullet point. Me and ChatGPT, we're done with this listing. It's great. Then I go in and I ask ChatGPT, can you please give me some search terms that people might type in looking for this listing that we have not used already? Because search terms should be the things that are not already in our title and our bullet points. They should be the words that we have left out, but somebody might type it in. Like you had mentioned the other day that if we were selling a grape jelly, you might put strawberry in the back end, even though the person isn't looking for strawberry, right? So it should be something like that. Now, we don't want repetitive words. So there you have Christmas gift idea, Christmas decorations, Christmas. That all begins with Christmas. Search term area of our Amazon listings does not want the words to be repetitive. In fact, it's a string of words. It doesn't even have to make sense. So I might have the words like looking at starting at line 8, music, cards. Well, now it kind of jumped, but I would basically take off, here we have Elf on the Shelf. So it might just be, ideas, printables, if any of them actually made sense. Mine spits out a little different only because we've already done the work. Right now, what you are asking it hasn't already built a listing with you. So the data that it's spitting back is not going to be as good. Trust me, when you've already built a listing with it and then ask it that, it definitely is better results. Another thing you can use ChatGPT for is actually YouTube videos. So if somebody was watching our video after the fact and they didn't want to have to watch the whole hour, and maybe they know that they want to hear about OA and RA, or maybe even ChatGPT for that matter, I have a plugin on my computer that is linked with ChatGPT that allows me to have the YouTube video summarized. I maybe just want it summarized and put into a simple format of what the speakers of that YouTube video were spitting out. Maybe they were giving instructions and I just want a summary. ChatGPT can give you summaries on current YouTube videos. And so I like to use it for that as well. Okay, JR asked, do you use Helium-10 to help with keywords? I don't. I think Helium-10 is a great tool. I know lots of experts in the industry use it. I will tell you that, and I don't mean to brag because I'm not an expert. I bet I could get a lot of value out of Helium-10. I'm sure I can. I've debated actually getting it because I help manage so many accounts and help so many clients build their listings that I probably should get it. But this is a story from about 2 years ago. I had an Amazon listing that I couldn't sell for nothing. And I mean nothing. And it was Mickey Mouse. It was a Mickey Mouse listing. It's like, how can you not sell that? I mean, it was great pictures, great title. I just couldn't figure out why nobody wanted it. A very good friend of mine who is excellent at creating listings. He has all the tools because he's just a tool person. He says, I know I overspend on them, but I have to have all the tools. I asked him, would you please examine my listing, run it through Helium-10, do like ACE and reverse lookup, like please come back to me with some keywords to help me sell this thing. He came back, he goes, I don't know how you do it. He says, but you already have all the top and best keywords in your listing. He goes, I honestly, he really couldn't even help me figure this out either. So it made me feel good that, wow, I didn't even use Helium-10 and it already spit back all the words I was already using. So that just kind of made me feel good.
I used Helium-10, the cerebral
Cerebral, yeah.
Say it wrong like that, girl.
No, that's, yeah. Well, a mogul is somebody who's like, think of a movie mogul or a music mogul, right? That's what a mogul
I
is.
don't know where I've never heard that term. So
You haven't?
nope.
Oh, yeah. Look, I'm an Amazon mogul. No, I'm just playing.
So I used the Cerebral for, I don't know, 6 months or so, and I did a couple of comparisons between my searching on ChatGPT and the Helium, and I preferred the ChatGPT, and it was $100 cheaper. So, not to say that Helium 10 isn't good; it's definitely good.
Yeah,
And
that is a good tool. I would never downplay it or say that I'm smarter than Helium 10 because I'm not. But it did make me feel good on that one listing that I had done a great job on my own without the need of it. A trick to finding good keywords on your own, God bless you, is, and this was just something I learned before, Helium 10 had ever come out. We'll use my fun Halloween coffee mug. When you're looking at your item you're listing, and if I was listing this coffee mug, you have to ask yourself, one, what color is this mug? And so it's kind of a gray color. Two, what is it? It's a skull bone coffee mug. What is it for? Who is it for? It's for Halloween, or it's so you want to just look at your item. You can answer a lot of your own questions about your item, and these are the keywords. Likewise, you can then go on Amazon and look at competitors' listings. And those that are doing well, you can tell they're doing well by what Keepa shows you, right? And so you can look at their listings and what keywords are in their title, because your competitor has figured it out if they have really good sales. What keywords are in their bullet points? Did I use those? Did I leave them out? You can figure a lot of it out on your own. Maybe you can't afford Helium 10 yet. That's a way to do it. Maybe you can afford Helium 10 and you don't want to have to think that hard. That's a great time to buy it.
So I like how it writes the paragraphs, and sometimes the prompt I used was write a 3-paragraph description for a skull bone coffee mug. And sometimes I'll say write a funny 3-paragraph description, or write a detailed, or write a, I don't know, serious paragraph, depending on what the item is. For this one, I'd probably go funny.
Well, in fact, will you do me a favor and copy the question you asked it to put it in there again and say, please, before you write this, please ask me any details that you need to know about my skull bone coffee mug.
Right, yes. Do I have to say please? It's a robot. Do I have to say please?
I say please because I just type the way that I talk. But no, you don't have to say please. And JR, do you use Helium 10? I'm curious if you use it, and I'm sure you love it if you do. And what part of Helium 10 is your favorite go-to?
Are there any particular features, materials, or themes? And details or preferences?
Okay, so yours gave you like just kind of a simple little paragraph format. Sometimes it gives me like detailed bullet points. It asks, I think it's just learned my behavior. So I feel like ChatGPT learns our prompts and how we ask it. Black box you like? I forgot what black box does, Nate. You'll have to tell me. It's been so long since I've used Helium 10.
All right, so I told it was a 12-ounce mug made of ceramic and highlight the Halloween theme. Captivating Halloween. Cool, yeah. Yeah, it did pretty good. Embrace the darker side of your coffee culture. I like that. Yeah. See, that's clever. I'd never come up with that.
On your own, right.
I mean, maybe if I was sitting down, but after what I did about 6 listings yesterday, maybe 7, and by like 3 or 4, my creativity is going downhill.
That's cool. I know you watch us regularly because you've commented before, so thank you also for joining with us. Follow up with me because I would love to know if it really ends up improving. Because look, $100 a month is nothing to make on Amazon. I mean, we can make that easily with a few good items that we sell. So I do think the tool can definitely pay for itself. So I would love a follow up because I've been debating to get it or not. This morning, I was realizing I've been selling on Amazon for like 9 years now.
Yeah.
And that's a long time. It's just a long time. No wonder I'm always complaining about the changes Amazon has made and how easy it was back then versus now.
So I asked for the keywords next, and it gave me a few that would definitely go in there. Like macrame, I probably wouldn't have thought of on my own. So that was a good one to add in. But like durable, probably not going to put in there. Probably not statement piece, probably not high quality or conversation, but haunting design would be cool. So then after this, what I do to build my keywords, because I'm comparing it to Helium 10. So I do it for the item itself. Then I'm going to go and say, give me the top SEO words for Halloween. Give me the top SEO words for coffee mug. Give me the top SEOs for mug, and conglomerate them all and then cherry pick out the ones that make the most sense.
You know?
And when I did it that way compared to Helium, it was almost exactly the same. There was no.
That's cool. That's cool to know because I've wondered about that because I use that same tactic. What would be interesting is for JR, for you to try that. Take what Helium 10 spits back at you with Cerebro and see if ChatGPT really parallels it well. I would love to do a case study like that. In fact, you should jump on my channel live and let's play with Helium 10 and then ChatGPT and have a battle of the software. That would be so fun if you want to reach out to me.
I should have done it. Yeah, I should have filmed it when I was doing it.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that. And then if Helium 10 does spit back better data on the keyword aspect of it, then you can incorporate ChatGPT with Helium 10 and tell ChatGPT, please use these keywords in my product description, my bullet points, to convey this message of the product, whatever it is we're working on.
I do have to say that Helium was good at saying what the most searched terms are. So if you're looking to see what are, so say coffee mug, we're looking for the top search. It may say, 8 billion people are searching for skull coffee mug, and what that ranking is in terms of search terms. But I always found the ones that we kind of, for a skull coffee mug, I can tell you right now, the top search term for a skull coffee mug is skull coffee mug. It's not
right.
It's not anything.
It's very simple. It is very simple.
You got to think, like Tina said, everybody's stupid and they're reading at 8th grade level or 6th grade level. So they're literally, think of your audience and what are they going to type in? They're going to type in, skull coffee mug, as if that's what they're.
Think about what you're typing in. When you're actually trying to find competing products, pay attention to what you're typing in because we all do it. When we are making a listing and we're looking at our competitors, we're looking to see if it's already saturated or not, if it's a valuable product idea, all the things. What did you just type in to find your thing? There's your keyword. There's your search terms. So
the other thing that I tell people is go to Amazon, type in what you would type in to find your product, right? You can also look at these. That's a good spot. And then don't look at the sponsored ones, although that one's really cool. I might have to get that one. My brother needs a new mug, I'm sure. That my brother is very much into Vikings and stuff. That'd be a cool Christmas present. All right, sorry, sidebar. I would take the top 3 to 6 ones that are like yours and then see what they are putting in their listing and just pull those keywords because they're already ranked. This is ranked 66 in kitchen. The only one I can see is like novelty, bonehead, diabolical. Those are words I'd want to put in. And then I go to the next one. Skull mugs, octopus. Nope, we're not going to put octopus in because yours doesn't have an octopus. Beer, maybe. Tankard, maybe. Cranium, yes, we didn't have the word cranium. I'm going to put the word cranium in there. Then we've got the word goth here. Okay, didn't think of the word goth. I'm going to put that in. So really look at the top sellers and see what words you're missing. because clearly they're ranking for those words and you want to have that in somewhere, whether it's in the description or in the title or in the back end keywords or in your advertising. You want to have that, because somebody might be typing in Halloween or Christmas gift for niece that likes goth, and you want to have that goth word in there, even though it's not, like, I don't know, I wouldn't say your mug is necessarily a goth mug, but it'd be a good present for somebody that's into goth. Somebody says, look into a program called Merchant Words. Yeah, I've done Merchant Words.
Yeah, I tried Merchant Words years ago.
It's okay.
It's more affordable. It's more affordable, and it's good for somebody starting out that needs a little help too.
Yeah, I think I did it when I was doing SEO for my t-shirts back in the day.
All right, you guys, we have reached up on our hour. Does anybody have a quick question before we sign off this morning? And thank you all who join us every week. We do appreciate you so much. And it certainly makes doing the show a lot more fun with those of you in the chat commenting and participating, and we appreciate you. Oh, I do have one reminder that in order to guarantee your stuff to be available for Christmas sales, and this comes directly from Amazon, not my suggestion. Amazon had put out an email a few weeks back saying to get your Q4 stuff in by October 26th. And today is the 20th. So does that mean you can't keep buying stuff and sending it in? Of course not. This was just Amazon's guaranteed deadline day. Most of us getting into November are going to switch to merchant fulfilling anyway. I just wanted to give you that friendly reminder before we log off the show today.
Get your stuff in. Get your stuff in.
All right. Well, with that,
wait.
No, we won't say goodbye.
No, I wanted to say one more thing. Thank you, everybody. Tina has now reached 1,000 people.
That's right, I did. So for those of you that, thank you. Yeah, so for those of you that subscribed last week to give me those last few that I needed to get to 1,000, thank you so much. Now I'm there. I'm in the club.
Yes. All right. Thank you, everybody. It was great seeing everybody in the chat today, and we will see you. Is next week going to be November? Oh, Tina, I am not ready.
No, we're still in October.
Okay. Oh, okay, we got one more week.
It should be the 27th.
Yes. Right. Oh, yes. Like and share. That is much appreciated as well. Thank you, Rena.
All right.
All right. Everybody have a great day.
Bye.